Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for another tutorial using an Affinity Photo. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can take a single image, any image, and create hundreds of different mandalas. You can do this in probably any photo editing software, but I use Affinity Photo, so that's what I'm going to use. This isn't a hard effect to do, but I don't think a lot of people know how to do it or how easy it can be. So come along, let's get into it. So here we are in Affinity Photo, and I already have 3 photographs already loaded up. Now these are the final edited photos, but nothing major has really been done to them. First, we have a photograph that I took while walking around town. I was using my Lumix S5 with an adapted Helios 44-2. It's an amazing combination, especially for a 60-year-old lens. I came across this telephone pole and I saw someone drew a face on it, and I just liked how it looked. Second, I really wanted to show off this effect and how it would work on a not so great photo. So I found this one that I took of a roll of duct tape. So even with an image as uninspired as this one, this will create a really unique pattern and effect. Lastly, we have a close-up I took of a dandelion. This one has been my favorite photo for this effect that I've found. It's really going to bring out the detail of the dandelion and make the image really pop. So stick around till the end to see the amazing pattern that this one creates. And I'll even add an extra effect to really make it stand out even more. So let's start with the telephone pole. First thing we're going to do, and I always suggest you do this when editing any photograph, is to duplicate the layer. This is going to make sure we always have the original image to fall back on, because this effect is destructive and will permanently change the layer. That means once we finalize the effect, the image will be permanently changed and we can't go back to it unless you undo everything. To duplicate the layer, you can right click and select duplicate, or you can just make sure you have the layer selected and hit Ctrl or Command J, and that'll duplicate the layer. Make sure the top layer is selected, move up to filters, and click on distort, and click on mirror effect. You can increase the amount of mirrors to whatever you want. The more mirrors you have, the more slices it's going to put onto the image, and the stronger the Mandala effect will be. For this image, let's go ahead and do 6 mirrors. That way the pattern of the wood doesn't get lost. And then you can see right here we have input. We can change the angle of the input, and by default it's going to go every 45 degrees. To get a more exact angle, you can type it or simply hold down the shift button and rotate it around. If you hold down shift, it'll now rotate by a single degree. By moving it, you can really get this kaleidoscope effect. Now you have the output angle. So let's go back, make a star. We'll go back to 5 for the mirror effect. And I really want to create a star. So let's say this is what I want my final one to be, but I want it straightened up. So that's where the output angle is going to come into play. We're going to hold down shift and we're going to rotate that angle so we have a straight up and down star. Now one thing you can do is click on the image, hold down the left mouse button, and drag the cursor. This is going to move the center point of your mirror filter. So if you wanted something a little less symmetrical, or to put the center onto a rule of thirds, you can. Go ahead and click apply. And it's done, and you can see that there's no adjustment layer or anything like that on this. This completely changed the photo. There's no way to go back to the original photo if you didn't duplicate it unless you undo the effect. Now let's go on to the tape. Again, not a super fantastic photo, but this is still going to create a crazy effect. So we're going to duplicate it. I'm going to hit Ctrl J, go up to filters, distort, mirror. Now for this one, let's go ahead and do 14 mirrors. Now I'm going to change the angle of the input. And that purple tape really starts to open up to create a beautiful pattern. We can offset it a little bit, and we can click apply. Now because the original image wasn't super detailed, if you really want to pull more detail out of this, you can always go up to filters, sharpen, unsharp mask, and now you can change the radius and the factor to bring out more detail. Now let's move on to my favorite photo for this effect. Again, we're going to duplicate the layer so we always have the original layer to fall back on. Go up to filters, distort, mirror, and for this one we're going to go with 9 mirrors. We're going to hold down shift and change the input angle. And you can see all the different effects you can get out of this. You go back and find the right angle that I really like. Let's go with that one. Now here's the final effect you can really do to change up your photo and make it pop a little bit more. We're going to go over to the right of our bar and click on Adjustments, and we're going to go to Gradient Map. Now Gradient Map is going to change the colors depending on how dark or how light it is. On the left you have all the shadows, and on the right you have all the highlights. This is going to change the color depending on the luminosity of the image. So for the shadows, let's go ahead and change that to black. The highlights, click right here, and I want to change that to like a really golden yellow. Now the center point, you can change it, and it's going to change how much contrast is going to be in that image. We're going to change that green to a dark yellow. And again, we can move it and either brighten or darken that image. You can always click on this line and add another one. We're going to brighten this to white. That way the yellow being above creates this type of glow effect. I'm actually going to change this yellow to more of a green. We can add another point down here. Let's go with a dark teal. And again, we can move that point around to get the look that we're going for. And now we're done. You can always turn that gradient effect on and off. But with this simple filter, you can really turn any ordinary photo into an amazing mandala. Just for fun, let's go with the last one. This one is just a simple picture I did, a close-up of a salad that I had for dinner one night. Again, nothing spectacular. We'll go to Distort. Make sure that layer is selected. Duplicate it. Go to Filters, Distort, Mirror. Let's go with 8. Hold down Shift. You can change that rotation angle too. And click Apply. And there we go. A simple image into an amazing mandala. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Do the whole like, subscribe, do whatever you want thing. But remember, no matter where you are in your creative journey, stay inspired, keep learning, and never settle for average. Bye.